Tell me, are you the one who sends me messages by bottle? Bottles that unerringly find their way across the ocean to my shores. It is an island that I reside on, I am certain, for I have walked its edge so many times. Much like the perpetual dark of this place, my memories also resist illumination. Where I am and what has happened to me are mysteries. I walk the island, and it feels like a memory box fallen from the shelf, its contents strewn across the floor. Everything is familiar, yet somehow indistinct and rearranged. It is almost as though I am being reassured from a distance by forgotten keepsakes. Derek, tell me. I found your technological flotsam and jetsam in the form of a USB stick today. No sooner had I read it than I found Mr. Zippers pressed to my leg, searching out my gaze. He is the same, yet different here somehow. Just as everything is, I guess. I remember as a child when my organic dog died. His name was Scruff. He was curled up as though just asleep on the floor of my bedroom. I remember poking him with my toe to wake him up so he could go play outside. I remember how hard he felt when I touched him. Later, my father put him in a black plastic bag, and we buried him in the woods where I had found an old bottle once. He was my best friend. One day, Father brought home Slink's newest invention, a power pet. It was half organic and half machine. I screamed and cried at the insult. Scruff could never be replaced by a machine, I declared. My mother was so worried, she convinced my father to buy the new Love upgrade, even though we couldn't afford it. You see, the scientists said they had isolated the emotion love, and were able to code it for a power pet. Was it love? Or perhaps just a clever program approximating it? I am not certain, but I did grow to love Mr. Zippers, and part of me was always a bit ashamed for it. Derek, tell me. It is unlike you to attempt to lead me into a response. You assume I would naturally seek immortality with life encryption. I wouldn't. You see, each moment is special simply because it is finite. A kiss, a laugh, or a sweet moment of melancholy. They come and fleetingly we live in that moment. Then they pass, only to return as a memory. It is why we cherish those times and commit them to memory for us to retrieve when we need them. Immortality would destroy that immediacy and dull all emotions. We need death to make life precious, the same way we need sorrow in order to allow happiness to exist. A memory is ethereal, untouchable. If we converted a memory into digital ones and zeros or some other form of language, then it would only be a matter of time before we began to manipulate it. We would cut out our sorrows and manufacture outcomes in order to create a shiny surface to our lives with nothing of substance behind them, a mockery of what it is to live. Love, Kumiko. Derek told me, you know me so well. Yet no, I truly wouldn't want to live forever. You cannot be excited and in love forever. You cannot be fascinated by someone for eternity. All must fade to gray with endless time. If we lived for eternity together, it told me, then we would eventually part. We must, don't you see? It would be preordained. I think eternity is the saddest word. We all would eventually be alone, broken hearts and willing to start anew, yet lingering in a half-light between life and death, embracing neither. I went out walking today looking for your door. Mr. Zipper's at my side. I feel comfortable here, and I harbor a guilt for being pleased at not finding your exit yet. It is a dark and foreboding place, yet it feels a part of me somehow. I will have a look again tomorrow. P.S. I think I saw Scruff far off in the woods searching for me. I called, but then he was gone. Derek told me. Today I explored the basement. Do you remember rabbits? The rabbits before the genetic games and the manipulations that eventually destroyed them. Did you know it was our age-old enemy, the fox, that inadvertently caused their downfall? It's true. You see, foxes suddenly began to die out beyond what was natural for them. For centuries they would follow a cycle. One year the rabbits would be plentiful, and then, as a result, for the next few years the foxes would have lots of rabbits to eat, and they would grow in numbers. They would then reduce the rabbit population, where eventually it would result in many foxes starving over the winter. The death of the foxes would then allow for a resurgence of rabbits, and so on and so on. Well, one year, the foxes began to die out quite rapidly. They blamed it on everything from wind turbines to toxins in their environment, though nobody really knew why. In our wisdom, we genetically tinkered with the rabbit species so that they became even more fertile. Yet once they passed their prime mating age, they would rapidly gain weight while their right hind leg would wither and twist, essentially creating a fat, crippled dinner easy for the fox to catch. Everyone clapped themselves on the back, yet the foxes still died. To prevent the food chain from collapsing, they built a robo-fox to wander around killing rabbits to keep their numbers down. If only they stuck to rabbits as they were programmed to do. The fast-breeding meaty rabbit became the darling of the food industry, and soon their genes spread far and wide across the world. And for reasons still being debated, they became sterile, and within a shockingly short time, the rabbits were no more. Today, in the basement, I found rabbits. Real, living rabbits. There was an illegal gene circus man-rabbit hybrid making shadow puppets on the wall while the little ones watched. I sat with them a while and petted a pretty brown one who climbed on my lap. This land I am lost in is dark, yet magical. P.S. Iktomi, why does my mother not write to me also? Dear Iktomi, today I woke up to Scruff licking my face. I suddenly sat up and he was so excited to see me that he kept running in and out of my room as fast as he could until he finally launched himself onto my bed and licked me all morning. I'm so happy, Iktomi. There is no love so pure and honest as that of a dog. Did I ever tell you that he is a German Shepherd and Border Collie mix? He is always trying to herd me and protect me simultaneously. I was going to search again for the door, but we'll do that tomorrow. Today, I just want to spend with Scruff. Love, Kumi.
On the farm, every Friday on the farm is rabbit pie day. So every Friday that ever comes along, I get up early and sing this little song. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Bang, 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 bang goes the farmer's gun. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, 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 run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't give the farmer his fun, fun, fun. He'll get by without his rabbit pie. So run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run.
Derek told me. I went upstairs today and found myself as I used to be. I saw myself hiding and fearful in one room, and in another it was a different sort of me. It was my sensual side that I hide, but I could see all the little hooks trying to pull me, control me, or expose me. The pressures from all sides to be this way or that. In another room I found my mother's sewing machine. As I turned, there behind me was Mr. Zippers, but changed horribly. It was like a caricature of combined toys trying to gain my trust. He had tried to incorporate a jack-in-the-box from my childhood, but also possessed hooks that were tied to his paws. He unzipped his mouth and told me the hooks would keep us together and hurt only a moment. I screamed, and suddenly Scruff was there and they fought. Scruff was unstoppable and tore Mr. Zippers into pieces, his parts strewn all around the room. I don't know what happened to Mr. Zippers here, but he became warped and somehow manipulated. You used to say I in your letters, Tomi, yet now you always say we, but you don't mean me and you. Who is looking over your shoulder? Dear Hiktomi, I went exploring with Scruff today and found a beautiful field of light bulbs with huge powdery white moths hovering above them. All I could hear were their wings gently moving. Later, we found the skeleton of a giant cat and some shopping carts tied up in trees, like the bones of a consumerist Sherpa. Over by a stump, I saw a real live honeybee, not the pollinating machines they said would replace the bees after they disappeared. It was trundling about on the stump, paying no attention to us. Did you know they have a stinger? They would defend their hive with their life should they have to. Their stingers were serrated like a hook, and in the act of protecting their hive, they would themselves die, as their stinger was connected directly to their heart. When pulled free, it meant their death. I watched him walking around and thought of that old saying you used when talking about something wonderful. That was the bee's knees, you would say. But I never really understood it. Now, I think I do. When I looked upon him, I noticed his big fat legs where he was collecting pollen. When he got home to the hive, it would be converted to delicious honey. So when we say the bee's knees, we mean the simple yet beautiful gift of honey that they bring us. Iktomi, this will be my last letter to you. I know that something has happened to me in the real world. I don't know what it is, but it's not really important to me. You tried to lure me back with products and promises, but I am afraid they hold no interest to me anymore. Well, that's not entirely true. I have studied, marketed, and addicted me to it all like a Pavlovian dog. Yet I am fully aware of this and still gleefully wag my tail. It is true that it is dark here, but I have scruff and rabbits and honeybees. You won't understand, and that is okay, but I need these things. Goodbye, Iktomi. Please, tell Imogen that I love her.
Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies chase those dark clouds far away. And I will just say hello to the folks that you know. Tell them you won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as I saw you go, you were singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Just say hello to the folks that you know. Tell them you won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as I saw you go, you were singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny